your hands like this, come on. Everybody clap your hands like this, come on. Everybody clap your hands. Oh yeah, text for you. Text for you. Generation fearless. Fearless.
Please welcome back to the stage, Sung Beats.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the 33rd Inspiration Awards Gala. We got an incredible evening for you guys. Relax, get comfortable, enjoy the vibe. Feel free to mingle, get some drinks. We'll get this event started in just a few moments. New York, how you doing tonight? Oh yeah. Just a few moments. We're a few minutes away from starting this event. right, ladies and gentlemen, if everybody can start getting seated, please. If everybody can start sitting down. We're gonna get this program started in just a few seconds. If everybody can please grab your seats. Everybody, please. If y'all can grab your seats. We're very glad to have you. Welcome to the 33rd Inspiration Awards Gala. We got Joan Shigekawa in the house. Give it up for Joan. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, dude, oh yeah. How you doing tonight? New York, make some noise if you're excited for the 33rd Inspiration Awards Gala. If everybody can please sit down and grab your seats. If everybody can please sit down and grab your seats. We got 20 seconds on the clock. We're gonna count down. We got 15 seconds on the clock. Let's count it down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Simon and I'm Generation Fearless.
My name is Anna and anything is possible.
We are fearless!
You can be anything you want to be.
Yes! My name is Eva and I am not afraid of anything. Fearless! 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 Fearless!
Generation Fearless.
Are you afraid of anything?
Cheese.
Please welcome to the stage Gala co-chair Aya Kanai and 12th grade Apex youth Binji Dong.
Hello everyone, and let's give it up for Sung Beats. He was amazing. My name is Aya Kanai, and I am a proud board member of Apex for Youth, and I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming all of you to our 2025 Gala. So welcome everyone. This gala is featuring our fearless youth and our fearless honorees. Now, how are these individuals so fearless? They do this by honoring their past and building a new future for their communities. We are here tonight to support our youth, so I wanted to kick off the evening with a few words from one of our mentees. I'll give it a minute. So we wanted to kick off the evening with a few words from one of our mentees, Binji Dong. Binji is an Apex High School senior, and she's graduating this year. We're so proud of her. Bingji is a powerhouse in the community and an incredible example of the change makers you will see here tonight and that we help to nurture within the community. Through Bingji's activism in the Asian American community, she has been fighting against gentrification in Chinatown to preserve the neighborhood for future generations and for the older generations. Welcome, Bingji.
Thank you so much, Aya. When I first entered Apex, I felt burdened by the expectations of being an immigrant and working class, constantly worried about whether what I was doing was considered good enough. At one point, I even had 4 internships over the summer and was still comparing myself to my peers. When I got to meet my wonderful mentor, Tracy, who is here today, I had someone who went through the same experiences as me and felt so much more secure because she always allowed me to define our relationship. And because of such experiences, I wanted my brother to have the same support. So I brought him into the mentoring program, and now instead of the silence in the late afternoons, we spend our time talking about Apex, like how he has a rock climbing trip soon. To me, a fearless generation means challenging the barriers that divide us, the parts of our stories that are lost in culture, language, and distance. I want to be able to create more multi-general spaces like mom and pop shops, imagining a future where people of many different ages are able to share and connect with each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bingji. Let's hear more from our Apex youth and the generational change that they are creating.
I immigrated here when I was 5 with my parents.
My parents had a language barrier, so I had to translate for them.
My parents immigrated here from Guangzhou, China.
We were born and raised in Pakistan.
Growing up in an immigrant community, all I know are people who work in the restaurant industry. So my parents never expected me to graduate from college.
I tend to have a lot of conflicts with my mom. There's that generational gap and that cultural gap as well.
It was hard to fit in. I didn't have friends first, so I would be really bored. I did not have fun.
The idea of career was also very foreign to me, so being paired up with a mentor was key to expose me as a youth.
When Shirley, a social worker at Apex, talked with me, I was able to change the way I approach my mom and consider how I'm responding to her in a more kind way.
When I start to get to know people more, I get more confident. So Apex is helping me with that.
A core memory for me at Apex was learning how to tie a tie. It meant more than I realized at the time. Every time I tied a tie in college, I was like, oh, well, Dan taught me how to do this.
I feel like people don't realize how important experiences are for youth, where you don't have the socioeconomic means to go on these trips and whatnot. It's the exposure to what is out there.
Apex is helping me find my identity because I'm trying out new things. For my sister, Apex has helped our relationship a lot. I talk to her more now and it just keeps us close.
Just having someone to support Harry and see him grow.
I want him to be part of spaces that he can grow in, and I think Apex is that space.
It's in my bucket list to mentor at Apex in the future. I hope to help people that are going through the same things that I used to go through.
This is my 2nd year as a mentor now.
I became part of the elementary school volunteer program. And I was like, this is my chance to get back into the community.
I wanted to come back and see if I could make a difference because it kind of reminded me of the tie.
Because of Apex, I want to be a change maker in terms of lifting up my communities.
It's really helpful to have that support network of people who care about you and who are rooting for you.
Apex is important because it helps me feel fearless.
It's also talking about mental health. I applaud Apex for helping the youth make sense of their emotions.
Being fearless means
fight for what you believe in,
trying new things, and going after what you want.
Persisting despite fear.
Seeing what this generation wants to become. There's so much potential to be passed on.
Please welcome to the stage Apex Executive Director, Ji-Yoon Chung.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with all of you. Tonight, we'll be celebrating Apex's work, creating generational change and inspiring fearlessness in our youth. We'll be sharing personal stories, including my own, of what is possible when we come together as a community. In my early childhood, growing up in Flushing, Queens, I remember feeling that anything was possible. Despite the fact that my parents, little sister, and I had just immigrated to the US from Korea, we were living in a studio apartment, and we didn't have as much financially as many others. In fact, my life was abundant. My mom, who sewed garments part-time at home so she could take care of us, encouraged me to express myself and helped me prepare for storytelling contests. My dad took us on road trips in our first car, a used Buick, and taught us the rules of baseball. From him, we learned our love for the Mets, and more importantly, our hate for the Yankees. Right? True New Yorker. He advised me to pursue jobs I was interested in. I didn't need to be a doctor or lawyer like everyone else wanted to be. My sister and I played games and made up songs and dances, something we learned from our mom, who wanted to dance all the time. My mom's right there. Oh my God. I was afraid, this is exactly what I was afraid of, but I attended diverse New York City public schools and a Korean American church. I had caring teachers and good friends. As a child, I felt seen and heard through a community who loved and believed in me at every corner. They allowed me to think less about my challenges and more about my possibilities. When I joined Apex's staff in 2011, I was thrilled to be playing a part in supporting Asian youth from low-income immigrant backgrounds, understanding firsthand the difference the community could make in a young person's life. Over the next 14 years, I would witness just how special and vital our community of caring adults was for our youth, many of whom would tell me how Apex's support systems had changed their lives. But this past year, I came to appreciate our support systems from a very different perspective, one where I would be on the receiving end. Last fall, I was diagnosed with an aggressive lymphoma, a type of cancer. When I finally learned my diagnosis, after months of some frightening symptoms and a challenging healthcare system, I was shocked and overwhelmed. But as I began sharing with my family and friends, something powerful happened. The more I shared, the more I saw my support system come together. Just like in my childhood, my community came out to support me in every way. They gave me strength, helped me lean into the process, and focus on getting better. I was filled with hope and optimism. I told family, friends, our staff and board that I expected to have more good days than bad in the 5 months of chemo treatment ahead. And I absolutely did. My journey was filled with love, and I don't remember a single moment when I thought I wouldn't make it. Before my treatment ended in January, I was in remission and told I was cancer-free. I felt joy and relief for myself, but also an overwhelming sadness for people who don't receive the same news, especially those who don't have the same access to resources and a community. I thought about how fortunate I was to have my incredible support system, my family and friends, my community at Apex, the amazing medical teams at both NYU Langone and Memorial Sloan Kettering, and how they walked alongside me, helping me navigate challenges through this new chapter of my life. There are so many people to thank, but I'll just name a few. Thank you to my family who are here at table 18. My good friends, Deanna and Anna. From Apex's, my support team at Apex, Jen, Wendy, Kim, Yaya, Pavin, and Alex, and from the board, Eric and Preeti. From NYU, Dr. Patel, and from MSK, Dr. Hamlin. What would my cancer journey have been like without the support? Without the Apex leadership team jumping in to take on my projects, or staff and board sending me kind messages, reminding me to take care of myself? Or without my family and friends bringing me nourishing food and being by my side during every treatment? As a child, what would my life have been like without my caring support system, allowing me to dream and see my possibilities? Many of our youth don't have the same support when they first walk through our doors. Through their journey at Apex, they gain mentors, therapists, coaches, college and career guides, and staff who walk alongside them at every stage of their lives, from elementary school through young adulthood. I've seen my own journey as parallel to those of our youth, our support systems helping us discover and draw on our own resilience and fearlessness to overcome and achieve more than we imagined possible. I truly believe our Apex community and work together to support young people helped me in my recovery. It gave me a purpose to return fully to this important work with the most dedicated people that I know. I know you're here tonight for the same purpose, to create a better world full of possibilities for our youth and for each other. Let's lean into this purpose tonight. Let's celebrate our youth, and let's walk alongside each other. Next, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing our student speaker, Ashley Yee. I first met Ashley when she started at Apex as a sixth grader in our middle school mentoring program 10 years ago. Over the years, she's been part of so many of our Apex programs that she's referred to herself as the Apex Journey. And she's even joined our staff part-time while she's finishing her last year of college. It's been amazing to see Ashley's growth over the years and the incredible, thoughtful, creative young person she is today. I can't wait for you to hear her story. Please give a warm welcome to Ashley.
I didn't really know what Apex was when I first joined, but it really ended up being something totally different in the best way possible. I first joined Apex because my older brother joined.
We definitely had the average sibling experience, always yelling at each other through petty things.
I'm definitely a witness to their petty arguments that first time I met them.
In the sixth grade, I felt like I wasn't Asian enough, I wasn't American enough either. So it was kind of tugging between both sides of who I am, where I fit in.
One of the things that really drew me to Apex is that I never realized how many Asian American youth were at risk because I had never really seen it before.
Having someone that I can look up to and have a big sister that I never had. She taught me a lot about personal growth. Something that she always did was make me try new things or be more open-minded. It took a while for me to be proud of who I was and be able to show my authentic self.
Before Ashley joined Apex, she didn't talk to me that much, and she sometimes yelled at me, not listen to me. After she joined Apex, she changed a lot.
Apex gave us an outlet to see each other outside of home. I saw Ashley as more than just my sister. I see her more as like someone I can easily talk to, relate to.
There's been a lot of differences in 10 years. To see Ashley go from someone who didn't want to raise her hand at all to someone who would raise her hand to present, to someone who would dance at the end of the year, like a dance showcase, to giving speeches in front of a lot of wonderful people. It definitely shows that Apex was able to really bring her along on that journey.
Apex will always be a part of my life. It's so encouraging, especially for younger generations, to have a space like this and to really be able to express their Asian American identity. Being fearless is being able to have the courage to be yourself.
Please welcome Ashley to the stage.
Thank you, Jiyun. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Yee. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York with my mom, dad, and brother. And I'm currently a senior at Stony Brook University studying marketing and psychology. I also work part-time on the Apex marketing team. When I first joined Apex at 12 years old, I was shy, hesitant, and unsure of where I belonged. I never imagined that the next 10 years at Apex would become a journey of self-reflection, embracing my cultural heritage, and deepening my connection with my family. Growing up, my family never talked about emotions. I wasn't taught how to express what I was feeling, and the generational and cultural differences between me and my parents only made it harder. They grew up in a different world in China, facing different struggles, like immigrating to the US and not speaking English. My parents worked long hours to support our family, my dad in a restaurant and my mom at the hospital. And I often wish I spent more time with them. When my great-grandmother passed away, she was the first person close to me that I ever lost. At the funeral, I realized I was the only one crying. Everyone else was composed, holding it together. Not talking about my feelings with anyone made me feel heavy, like I was bottling everything up. It was then that I understood how deeply Asian culture emphasized mourning in private and putting on our best face. As a result, I kept my experiences to myself, never talking about taboo topics like death or romantic relationships, and feeling that even saying I love you was off limits. The absence of I love you made me question what the meaning of love was. In 6th grade, I really struggled with my Asian identity, both at home and at school. I wanted to be the popular kid, but I was bullied. One day, my classmates called me on the phone to sing a song they made, mocking my family by saying we ate dogs and collected bottles for money. As I held my phone, tears streaming down my face, their laughter echoed in my ears. It hurt. I felt embarrassed with no one to confide in. I questioned what I had done wrong. I began to push away my Asian identity, focusing solely on being American, speaking only English at home, and wishing for anything but Chinese food, leaving me unsure of who I really was. That same year, I joined Apex mentoring program. I resisted it, because it reminded me of the culture I was trying to avoid. Walking into a room with just Asian people and languages I didn't connect with. But when I met my mentor, Mong Mong, I saw how she embraced her identity effortlessly and unapologetically. The way she carried herself, so sure of who she was, made her stand out. She walked into a room radiating confidence, never hesitating to strike up conversations with mentors and mentees. She was the mentor I didn't realize I needed. Before I knew it, I was no longer afraid to talk to others and embraced new experience. She showed me how to move through the world as an Asian American woman with the same strength and confidence that seemed so natural for her. My experience at Apex helped me to be more confident in speaking up at home. It began with small steps, telling my mom about Apex events, what my mentor and I did, and how I was growing through the programs. When I moved away for college, I began to notice how much closer my parents and I had become. My dad would give me goodbye hugs, and my mom would take photos of me every semester, adding to the hundreds she had saved. Even though there were still language barriers, we had found our own way to communicate. This kind of expression was new to all of us, and the openness made our relationship grow even deeper despite me living farther away. I started to feel the courage to open up in other ways and wanted to bring my parents more into my life beyond surface level conversations. At Apex, I felt truly understood, and I wanted that same level of connection with my mom to deepen our mother-daughter bond. I wanted to show up more fully and break through the silence I had grown used to at home. One evening, as we finished dinner, I searched for the right words to open up to my mom about something more personal. My heart raced, my palms felt clammy. I took a deep breath and finally gathered enough courage. Mom, can I tell you something? After a pause that seemed to stretch on forever, I pushed through. I have a boyfriend. She simply responded, "Does he make you happy? That's all that matters." I stared at her, taken aback. "Why?" I asked. She looked at me. "Because I love you." I wasn't sure how to respond, so I just laughed it off. Up until that point, my mom had only said "I love you" a handful of times. So it was unfamiliar but powerful. Looking back now, I wish I had said "I love you" back. It brought me a sense of peace that I had been searching for so long. It was a reminder that my family had always supported and valued me. Mom, Dad, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for teaching me about our Chinese culture and making me proud to carry it on. And in case I don't say it enough, I love you. If I could give my younger self advice, I would tell her not to worry about what others think, to embrace her identity confidently, and to take my mom's offer on the Mandarin classes. Above all, I would remind her that there was never an absence of love, even if it wasn't always expressed in the ways she wanted. Now, Love to me means embracing who I am, drawing strengths from my roots, and fiercely showing up for myself and others. I can't believe it's been 10 years with Apex. What started with the Apex Middle School Mentoring Program grew into so much more through the alumni program. I went on to receive 2 college scholarships, complete 4 internships. That helped me discover my passion for marketing. And now I am part of the marketing team at Apex. So if you've seen our Instagram and LinkedIn lately, that was me. I want to keep sharing real stories of our youth and inspire others to support and empower the next generation. And I could have never imagined that I'd be standing here in front of 600 people as this year's student speaker. I feel so proud of the person I am now, being able to share my story publicly and creating a space where emotions and vulnerability are seen as strengths rather than weaknesses. As I prepare to graduate college in May, my Apex journey is far from over. One of my biggest goals is to become a mentor. Just as Mong Mong guided me, I hope I can be that confident presence for someone else. Thank you to Mong Mong, the marketing team, especially Kim, the marketing director, who supported me throughout this whole process. Jiyoon, and all the Apex staff who had believed in me over the last decade. And to everyone here, thank you for being here tonight and listening to my story. Thank you for keeping Apex going and making so much possible for me and for so many others. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. I know how much love and care Ashley put into her speech to honor her own support system, and I'm so glad to see her receive that love from all of you. Next, I'd like to introduce our board chair, Preeti Saratnam. During his tenure, Apex has grown significantly from an annual budget of $150,000 to $8 million, from serving 100 youth to over 2,500 this year. He's continued to dream big for our youth and organization while centering youth in everything that we do. Some of you may know that Preeti started as a mentor before joining our board. He's still in touch with his mentee, Eric, today, over 20 years later, attending Eric's wedding and many milestones. In a recent interview we did with Eric, he shared how Preeti believed in him and encouraged him at very critical points in his life. It was clear that Eric's life could have gone in a very different direction without Preeti's mentorship. During my cancer journey, Preeti checked in with me often to see how I was feeling, both physically and mentally, reminding me that he and our Apex community were there for me. I think most importantly, he said, take however long you need, even if it takes a year. Fortunately, I didn't end up needing anything close to that, but having the space to take my time was really helpful. When we talk about Apex's support system, Preeti is a big part of that. Please join me in welcoming Preeti to the stage.
evening. Go Yankees. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're here for the children. Come on, people. Let's try that again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. To those of you who are new, we're so glad you're here. And to those who have returned year after year, thank you. Your presence means more than you know. Before I begin, I just want to take a moment to thank Ji-yoon for sharing such a powerful and personal story. You reminded us of what it means to be held, not just in times of triumph, but in moments of uncertainty. Your words brought us back to something essential, that the strength we carry often comes from the strength we're surrounded by. That community, when it's real, doesn't just help us survive. It helps us heal, it helps us grow, and sometimes it saves us. And that's exactly what I want to talk about tonight. Each year, I stand up here and speak on behalf of the youth that we serve. And yes, that remains the heart of Apex. But this year, I want to talk about something deeper, something that has always been true, even if we haven't always said it out loud. Apex is not a charity, it's a community. Yes, we're here for the kids, but we're also here for each other. A few months ago, our board and staff gathered for a 10-year strategic planning session. We were charting Apex's future, new programs, new partners, new metrics. But as we discussed the plan, something didn't feel right. And then it hit me. We were missing the why, not the mission statement. We know that. But the real why, the emotional truth that keeps us coming back year after year, even after our mentees have grown up, even when the work is hard, and even when no one's watching. I believe the why is our community, and I'd like your help in proving this. If you're physically able, I invite you to please stand and stay standing if any of the following statements apply to you. Have you formed a friendship that lasted years, not just months, because of Apex? Have you collaborated professionally, opened a door, or received a boost in your career thanks to the circles at Apex? Have you celebrated personal milestones, weddings, babies, big moves, with someone in this room? Have you shared a meal outside of tonight with someone you know through Apex? And have you ever sat at a previous Apex Gala, heard a speaker, and felt so inspired that it changed how you think or live? Now look around. Please stay standing. So if you're standing, you've benefited from this community. If you're sitting, you've just witnessed its power. And I invite you, I encourage you to lean in by standing up and joining the rest of us. Everyone, please stand. Now, while you're standing, I'd like us all to share a moment together. Close your eyes. Yes, really. Let your hands fall to your sides. Take a deep breath. Now, feel your feet on the ground. Feel the presence of the people around you. Let yourself feel, not just think, the strength you gain by being in this room together. Now open your eyes and take a look around. This is what collective power feels like. This is what love with direction feels feels like. Please sit back down. Apex is a community, and a community is about what we give to each other. We are here tonight not just to raise money, but to raise intention, to raise our sense of possibility, and to remember that the work we do at Apex, the mentoring, the programs, the scholarships, are all expressions of one larger truth, that our community is strongest when we stand together, that we fight invisibility, not just with data, but with connection, that saving the next generation also saves us. Tonight, you'll be asked to give. My ask of you is for you to belong, to show up and take ownership of this community, to be here for each other, especially in these uncertain times, and to act fearlessly on behalf of our youth. Thank you. Let's continue building this community together. And welcome to the Apex family.
Please welcome back to the stage, Sung Beats. New York, how's everybody doing tonight? Let's make some noise. If you're enjoying the gala so far, can I get a yeah? Can I get a oh yeah? Can I get a oh what? How about a little whoa? My name is Sung Beats, and this is all vocals. Apex for youth. Hands up. How you feeling, Apex for Youth, New York City? Let's hear it. This machine in front of me is called a loop pedal. I'm not a DJ, I'm a beatboxer. I'm gonna start looping my voice. Check this out. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian and proud. Make some noise if you're Asian and proud. Yeah. Asian and proud. Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I need a favor from you guys. Let's do it together, okay? Fearless. Let me hear you. Come on. Fearless. I'm fearless. Keep it going, yeah. I'm fearless. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm Asian. I'm proud. I'm generation. I'm fearless. I'm generation. I'm fearless. I'm generation. I'm fearless. I'm generation. I'm fearless. 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 I'm fearless. 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 How you doing right now? let's go. Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, get away, get away. Better know that I don't and I won't never stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. See the Billy wanna pop me. Just know that you would never flop me. And I know that I can be a little cocky. You would never gonna stop me. Every time I come at you, you gotta set it, then I gotta go, then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, then I gotta shut it. Any little thing that you can think that you be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna then I gotta murder everything and anything about a boom. But I gotta do a lot of things to make room to a couple chickens that I was with. I gotta get it again and again and again. Make some noise. If you know the lyrics, I need everybody to sing, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the apata. My name is Sung Beats. Thank you guys so much. Generation Fearless.
Please welcome to the stage, Mariko Silver.
Good evening, everyone. It is a great honor and delight to be here, celebrating 33 years of support for Asian American youth. I am here to introduce one of tonight's Inspiration Award honorees, Joan Shigekawa. It is a particular joy because she is my mother. Oh, yes. For much of my working life, I have occasionally had the following experience. I meet someone new, I introduce myself, and immediately they say, "Oh, I know your mother." And now that I am the president and CEO of Lincoln Center here in New York City, which is to say, I work in the arts, it happens to me all the time. So just 2 nights ago, I was at a dinner of women founders of tech companies and nonprofits, private equity, bankers, etc. And of course, it's a room of like 15 people. Somebody came running up to me and said, "Oh my God, I know your mother. She's the best." And, you know, some of you, maybe, are thinking to yourselves, that could get a little irritating. Could be a little annoying. Every time you walk into a room, it's somebody runs up to you and says, "Oh my God, I know your mother." But not in my case. Not in my case, because the next sentence is always, "Oh my God, I know your mother, she's the best. She helped me. She helped me so much. She helped me figure out, she helped me get connected. She helped me understand what to do with my life. She helped me." It makes me proud and joyful beyond measure. Now, my mother has always made her own way because, as she will tell you, and it's true, she didn't have any other choice. When she was fresh out of college, It was the golden age of television, and she decided that she wanted to work on historical documentaries. Every small child's dream, obviously, to work on historical documentaries, and that is what she wanted to do. And there was no one who looked like her making historical documentaries, but also she didn't know anyone making historical documentaries, and also, by her own admission, she didn't know anything about how to make historical documentaries. But she was undeterred and undaunted. She decided that she was going to read what people in the industry read. So she went to the newsstand and she bought Variety. She bought it every week. And she read, and she read, and she read. And eventually, she figured out a way, not by knowing anybody, but by grit, to find the home phone number of a famous producer. And she called them up, and they gave her a job. And then when she went into the office, the HR people said, "You weren't supposed to get this job. That job was meant for somebody else." But she, as she says, wormed her way in. Undeterred and undaunted. Now, I take two lessons from this improbable story, and they are also two things that you should know about my mother. She always does her homework. Even as a kid, when she encountered a word she didn't know, she would always look it up in the dictionary and use it immediately. Use it as often as possible. As my children, her grandchildren who are here in the audience can tell you, she's constantly harping on them about looking up words in the dictionary. And it earned her the unenviable nickname in grade school of Miss Right Again. Oh, there she goes, Miss Right Again. And by her own admission, it took her quite a long time to realize that was not a compliment from her peers. But she is still that kid. She is undeterred and undaunted. I learned from her always to do the work and never to be intimidated by what you don't know. When you encounter something you don't know, throw yourself into mastering the unknown and then use that knowledge right away if you can. She is one of the most curious and inquisitive people I know. She always wants to know what you're doing and why, and not only if you're her only daughter. She wants to know what all of you are doing and why, so look out. But she's also one of the most generous people I know, because she always wants to know what you're doing and why, in case, perhaps, she can help you. And help she does. Now, I'm not going to lie, as her child and as my children, her grandchildren will say, sometimes that advice, which she gives freely, sometimes it can feel a little bit like criticism, which is why my children call her, at age 88, a little creaky and critiquey. But it is also why people from all walks of life, some of you in this room, and people from all over the world come to her for her advice. She's going to ask you the right questions with laser precision and the highest care. A friend of mine's son wants to go into film, wants to become a documentary filmmaker, and he asked me if I would introduce him to my mother. And I said, yes, but make sure he's prepared. Make sure he is really prepared, because she is going to ask all the questions and she is going to drill in and she is not going to pull any punches. But as she gives it to you straight, you're going to come out of that conversation better for it. I mean, there's a reason why I say my love language is constructive criticism. She taught me the importance of always learning more, always seeking to understand, never allowing yourself to get stuck, only ever building, and always, always helping others and paying it forward. So thank you, Mom, for teaching me and for teaching so many, for mentoring me and mentoring so many, for supporting me and for supporting so many. and in doing so, laying the ground for an immense infrastructure of care and reciprocity that goes on and on and on. Now, in our house, we call this vast network of people my mother has helped and supported and mentored and nurtured and encouraged and critiqued and advanced with her sharp and loving, incisive care. We call it the Shiggyverse. So, welcome to the Shiggyverse.
Visionary, trailblazer, force for change. I'm honored to introduce Joan Shigekawa. As a young child, Joan was confined in a Japanese incarceration camp at Tule Lake. She went on to dedicate her life to supporting the arts in America, and even received the National Medal of the Arts from President Biden. Something that I admire about Joan is how resilient she is, going from being put in an incarceration camp to receiving a prestigious award from the same country that put her there. Joan's story inspires me to give back to my own community and be a role model and a mentor for future generations. Her experiences prove that we can achieve the impossible, even when the odds are against us. Thank you, Joan, for being resilient and fearless and helping to shape the path for so many of us today.
Please join me in welcoming my mother, Joan Shigekawa, to the stage.
Let's do the photo. Creaky and critiquey. Here I am, standing before you, creaky and critiquey. So some of this you've already heard, but I will launch in. When I was 5 years old, I was imprisoned with my family by the United States government because of my ethnic heritage. I am Japanese American. So I could have never imagined that many years later, I would be standing on a stage like this one in the East Room of the White House at a celebration of Asian American artists introducing the audience to the President of the United States. Or that 12 years later, I would have the extraordinary experience of returning to the East Room in the White House, surprised to receive the nation's highest medal, the highest honor in the arts, which is the National Medal of the Arts from President Biden. I actually really was surprised because people like me who are behind the scenes do not usually receive the National Medal of Arts. But while the journey from a federal prison camp to the White House is part of my story, it is also a part of the story of America. And I know that in this room this evening, there are many similar stories of building a life and a career based on nothing more than hope and the belief that whatever you wanted to achieve, you could do it. Whether it was in art and architecture, finance, fashion, food, business, science, technology, you could and would and have achieved your dreams. And in pursuing your dreams, you are making America and building our shared future. And the gift that you, the wonderful Apex mentors and community, bring to the next generation is the life-affirming message that if you believe in yourself, that if you are fearless, you can achieve not only your goals, you can achieve your dreams. It is true that this room is full of wall-to-wall accomplishment. I know that because I know many of you. So I've been thinking about the meaning of this amazing honor and the life-changing work which APEX does for youth from immigrant and low-income families. And this led me to memories of my own growing up as the child of 2 Japanese Americans. So I am a Sansei, a 3rd-generation Japanese American. My grandparents came to the United States in 1889 and in 1904, more than 120 years ago. My mother and father were born in California. Our parents raised us as Americans. We spoke English at home. We weren't even taught how to use chopsticks. We had to teach ourselves in college. And we thought of ourselves as American kids. And we were American kids. But I quickly learned that to some of my classmates, I was not an American. I was a Jap. The year is 1944, and the war with Japan is not yet over. So this central challenge of belonging, which we heard the youth refer to, was an early challenge, and the question was, where did my brother and I fit? So when we were released from Tule Lake, one of the 10 prison camps where Japanese Americans were incarcerated during World War II, we were the only Asian American students in Fairfax, Virginia. Fairfax, Virginia then, and is now still, a suburban county, but then in a segregated Virginia. Our parents were required to appear before the school board in a formal interview in order to enroll us in elementary school. We were not white. We were not black. Where did we belong? Could we even go to public school? And for years, we were the only Asian American children in the public schools which we attended. So we were always other. I didn't have a single Asian American friend or peer until I was 22. Then, on the first day of my very first job in New York City at CBS Television, I met Dee Ito, who had also been incarcerated as a Japanese American child, and to this day, she is still my very best friend. Now, in contrast, APEX kids will share their journey with an expansive and wonderful community of friends and mentors. The life-affirming gift of friendship is a given for every single APEX kid. Yay, APEX. So I'm now 88 years old, and some might say, creaky and still critiquey. Some might say that I've achieved a lot, but I can only imagine how it might have changed my life if I had been lucky enough to be an APEX kid. APEX for Youth's brave message is, when you are fearless and believe in yourself, you are unstoppable. You can achieve not only your goal, you can achieve your dream. I know firsthand that being fearless and unstoppable at any age can be a powerful force for change. So my message for the Apex youth who are here with us this evening is, you already have some ideas about what you want to do. Treasure them and nurture them. Do not give up on what your intuition is telling you that you need and want to do, or whom you want to become. In closing, first I would like to thank my Japanese American parents who always assumed that we would go to college even when times were hard and the money wasn't there. And I owe a debt of gratitude to the many public libraries which were my refuge. And yes, cheered for public libraries. They were the place where I would go to read countless books and try to study how life was supposed to work in America. Thank you, Apex for Youth, for this wonderful honor. And a personal thank you to Andrew Kwan for your talent and for this beautiful velvet dress. Andrew, stand up, Andrew. And finally, thanks to all of you for all that you do to support the talent and promise of Apex young people. And most of all, deep thanks to the dedicated Apex staff whose skill and caring make everything possible. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, Chloe Kim.
Hello? Ooh, wait, sorry. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for having me. This is so cool. Okay, well, tonight I am so excited to be here to present this award to my very, very dear friend, Suni Lee. So Suni and I first met back in 2021 at the ESPYs, and from the moment we first started talking to each other, it genuinely felt like we'd known each other forever. And I vividly remember watching her during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Does anyone remember that? Oh my gosh. I mean, she was amazing. I was absolutely mesmerized. She moves with such grace and strength. It was just jaw-dropping. But for those of you who may not know her accomplishments, allow me to brag about my friend. So, in 2019, at just 16 years old, Suni made her mark at the World Championships. She helped Team USA secure gold while also earning silver on floor exercise and bronze on the uneven bars. Then came the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, where at just 18, Suni stepped into the spotlight and completely stunned everyone. She earned gold in the individual all-around, becoming not only the 5th American woman to ever win this title, but also the first Asian American woman, as well as the first Hmong American athlete to win an Olympic medal. Wow! Oh my gosh! She's so cool. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. She also brought home silver in the team event and bronze on the uneven bars. Jesus Christ! Oh my gosh, so cool. Her victory was more than just historic. It was a moment of immense pride for the Hmong community and a powerful reflection of what representation looks like on the world stage. She didn't stop there though. She's an overachiever. While balancing fame, pressure, and a full course load, she competed collegiately for Auburn University, where she became the NCAA balance beam champion and earned silver in the all-around in 2022. Gosh, there's so much. In 2023, Suni faced a new challenge when she was diagnosed with the rare kidney disease. It forced her to take a step back from the sport she loved, but if you know Suni, you know resilience is truly her superpower. Not only did she return to elite gymnastics, but she also helped lead Team USA to another gold medal at the Paris 2024 Olympics, adding 2 bronze medals in the all-around and uneven bars to her ever-growing collection. Like, how many is that, Suni? Like, can I see them? And along the way, she's been honored with Sports Illustrated Female Athlete of the Year in 2021 and the Women's Sports Foundation's Individual Sportswoman of the Year in 2022. Suni, your story is truly one of power, perseverance, and pure heart. You've broken barriers, uplifted your community, and inspired so many of us with your courage and brilliance on and off the mat. Watching you rise, fall, and rise even stronger has been nothing short of incredible. It is an absolute honor to present this award to someone who reminds us that greatness isn't just about medals, it's also about grit, grace, and never giving up. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring the incredible, the one and only Suni Lee.
Cultural icon, barrier breaker, champion. The first Hmong American Olympic gold medalist didn't just make history, she redefined it. Suni Lee empowered young Asian girls like me to know that they can achieve anything they want. When I found out that even with her kidney disease diagnosis, Suni continued to train for the Olympics, she reminded me to always work towards accomplishing my goals. At such a young age, Suni has been able to do the unthinkable, create her own path, and be a true embodiment of dedication, grit, and fearlessness. Through her platform, she's spoken up about mental health issues and continued to uplift the next generation of Asian American youth. Suni, we're so grateful to you for being a champion for us, both on and off the mat. Thank you.
Oh gosh, this is way high. Okay, wait, I just need to start by saying I do flips for a living, so I'm really nervous right now because I don't talk in front of people. It's an honor to be here celebrating mentorship and resilience with this incredible Apex community. It has been so inspiring to hear the stories of Apex youth tonight. It makes me wish that I had an organization like this when I was younger, when all I wanted to see was someone who looked like me doing things that I could only dream of. When I think about Generation Fearless, I think about how fearlessness has shaped my journey. To me, being fearless isn't about having no fear. It's about facing challenges head on, knowing the outcome could go either way. In gymnastics, we literally learn to fly. We have to trust ourselves, our training, and those who lift us up. My fearlessness was tested in ways I never imagined. Leading up to the 2024 Olympic trials when I battled a severe kidney disease. It forced me to stop training at possibly the worst moment. I had to let go of fear of pain, of not being enough and failing in front of the world, and focus on what truly mattered. I was told that I would never compete again, that I would never do the one thing I loved most in the world. In those moments, I leaned on my mantra, just my best, nothing more, nothing less, because I'm good enough. I had to trust my abilities and relearn to use my new body, a new body that at times didn't feel like home to me, but I never let go of my dream. Of those around us, oh, sorry, I skipped a page. But I definitely didn't do it alone. For me, support has come from my family, my coaches, my team, and my community. I wouldn't be standing here without them. Being a part of the Hmong community has given me pride, resilience, and responsibility. My parents came here with nothing but a dream to build a better life for their future family, and their sacrifices have shaped me in ways I'm still realizing. To leave everything you have ever known to make a new life in a new world where you don't know the language, where you have no money, no community, is a hardship most of us are blessed not to face. Their work ethic, their determination, and their unwavering belief in me have taught me that no challenge is too great if you keep pushing forward. The generations before us worked hard to create opportunity, and I hope to do the same in my journey and achievements. We have seen tonight that so many young people face challenges that feel impossible to overcome. That voice in their head telling them that they are not good enough, not worthy of greatness, sometimes because there is no one telling them that they could. Or even worse, there are people saying the exact opposite. It's our job to show future generations that someone who looks like them can achieve their dreams. It takes "that can never be me" and turns into "wow, that could be me." Never let anyone, including yourself, place limits on your dreams. If you believe in yourself and put in the work, you're already on the way. Every accomplishment, whether it's an Olympic medal or the incredible achievements we've heard from Apex Youth tonight, is built on the strength of those around us. Behind each success is a village lifting us up, voices that remind us of our strength when we doubt ourselves, and a community that shows us what's possible when we forget. I'm proud to be a part of a generation that is pushing boundaries in sports and in every field. I'm so excited for what's ahead, not just for myself, but for all the young people in this room and beyond. Like Apex mission says, the future is limitless as long as we believe in it. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage, Jiun Chung.
Joan and Suni, thank you so much for being such an inspiration to us. The youth who introduced you, Eric and Anna, were such fans that they wrote their own speaking parts. And a special shout out to Chloe Kim, who flew all the way from Switzerland to be here to introduce Suni. Like Chloe being here to celebrate Suni, our community is all about uplifting each other. We couldn't do this without our biggest supporters, who I'd like to thank now. Our champions Dan Chung and Alger, Merkley and Credera, Rob and Karen Lee, Chris K and Old Machine, who filmed our amazing videos. Thank you also to our leaders, Jeff and Carol Chen and friends, the Kent Hospitality Group, Eric Lee and Cindy Chua, Michael Lee, the Kevin Eng and Eunhye Song Foundation, Joe and Lily Wong, and Victoria Xu and the JT Tai Foundation. Sadly, Victoria couldn't make it tonight, but we wanted to wish her a happy birthday today. Victoria is actually right over there in some form of a physical form, table 14. So happy birthday, Victoria, we miss you. Thank you, Sung Beats and BD Wong, for your incredible energy, and Allison Chu of Double Happiness Bridal for styling me and Ashley with so much love. This is all Allison. Thank you, Allison. I want to thank our amazing board, especially our gala co-chairs, Melody Lee, Ray Chan, all right, and Aya Kanai. Thank you to our incredible staff, associate board, Cornerstone Council, principals, community partners, our 1,000 volunteers who support our youth, and last but not least, our fearless youth. Let's give them a hand. Tonight, we're here with a collective purpose to support our youth. So many of our supporters get involved because they wish they had their own Apex growing up. And today, our work is more important than ever in this period of uncertainty. In addition to economic challenges, the families we serve are facing a harsh reality. Parents are not seeking the resources they need, like food stamps or even medical care for their kids, because they're afraid to do so. Having just been through my own cancer journey, it frightens me to think of our parents hesitating to get medical care for their families. And it motivates me more than ever to support our families during these turbulent times. 1 in 2 Asian American youth in New York City continue to live in or near poverty. At Apex, it's 3 in 4. But the Asian American community continues to be underfunded every year, receiving less than 6% of the city's funding despite being 18% of the population. We know we will continue to face systemic inequities, but as we've seen tonight, we also know the incredible things that happen when our community comes together. Our youth become more confident, have a greater sense of belonging, and become more socioeconomically stable than they were growing up. We do this through the support systems you heard about tonight, including Ashley's. There's a graphic up there. Her mentor, staff, and the many resources available to her. As Joan talked about, imagine what each young person could do if they had the support to pursue their dreams. This is a moment to celebrate our collective impact on so many young people like Ashley. It is also a moment to create more impact and generational change for generations to come. Through your generosity during last year's paddle raise, you helped us provide mental health and other critical services to all of our youth. Our goal tonight for our paddle raise is $1 million. Thank you for cheering that. So our goal is $1 million to continue reaching the most vulnerable youth in New York City and growing our services in Brooklyn and Queens. Through the funds we raise tonight, we will help 2,700 low-income and immigrant youth next year to have the support they need to thrive. Help us create a future for every young person to live a life without limits. For each of the thousands of youth we've supported over our 33 years, there is a story. We've invited a few of our alumni to join us tonight so we can take a moment to celebrate their Apex journeys. I'd like to invite Assumpta Galang and Sarah Park to the stage.
Good evening. Thanks, June. Good evening. I'm Assumpta Galang, the Associate Director of College and Career Success.
Hello, I'm Sarah Park. I'm the Alumni Program Manager.
The creative and varied paths our young adults have chosen to take are beyond what we could have imagined, and somehow, through it all, they've stayed connected to Apex.
You are going to hear some amazing accomplishments, but as Ocean Vuong said to our youth 2 galas ago, you don't have anything to prove, and we're so happy that you exist as you are.
So, do you think that they're ready? No. You ready, girl? Let's do this.
All right, y'all better prepare yourselves. For we shall bear witness to the swag, the drip, and the riz that is our Apex alumni.
All right. We are starting with Lee-Min Lee, who has found abundance in the Asian American community. She found her first cancer research internship through Apex and is continuing to do this research at Stony Brook. Lee-Min's well on her way to becoming a physician's assistant.
Wei Ping Chan is a former gala speaker who's oriented his life around his love of how sports connects people. He coaches basketball and works part-time with Apex Middle School Mentorship in Brooklyn. Wei Ping studies physical education and takes playtime very seriously.
Vicky Zhang blows us all away with her hunger for growth. She's also the oil that keeps the Apex office running by running our facilities, all while balancing a full-time job and volunteering for the elementary program. You type A's better watch out because she's looking at consulting as her next big move.
Elias Chan recently represented queer voices on a community mental health panel organized by Philip Lim. Our alumni scholarship contributed to his path of becoming an infectious disease epidemiologist.
All right, 3 more to go. Elisa Leung is a record-setting collegiate baller, scoring 1,000 points in both high school and college. She coaches our younger Apex youth in the athletics program, the very same one she was a part of when she was in Apex, because she wants to show that anything is possible. Anything is possible. There you go.
Shay Gao joined ABEX when she was 14 years old, and you are now looking at someone who lives and breathes community-centered mentorship. She's a former in-person and virtual mentor for Apex. Her own mentor introduced her to the company she's worked at for more than 10 years, where she combines her love of numbers and med tech.
And last but not least is Ken Bamba. He is one of 3 siblings in the Apex fam, and Ji-yoon personally helped him win the Posse Scholarship to get a full ride at Dickinson College. He now nominates Apex students every year to take advantage of that same opportunity. Ken was chosen as Volunteer of the Year not once, but twice by 2 of our programs. We're all so happy that you could be here with us tonight. And now we want to celebrate with some of our alumni from across the country who couldn't be here tonight. Let's give it up again for our alumni.
I actually know most of these alumni personally, and they're amazing, amazing young people. I've seen their challenges, their support systems, and how much they've overcome and achieved. With the right resources and community, our youth define their own future and come back to mentor the next generation. Thank you for celebrating them. We know together we can and must break the cycles that exist. This is what it's all about, each generation strengthening the next, creating a limitless future for our youth. Apex staff will now come around with paddles. Raise yours and be the catalyst for change. Let's not wait for change. Let's show our youth and the world that we refuse to leave our youth behind. Let's be fearless together. I'd like to introduce BD Wong, a longtime supporter and friend of Apex. BD was our auctioneer for our first incredible paddle race several years ago and helped set us on the path we're on now. He's also an amazing, kind human being and so passionate about Apex. We're so lucky to have him. Please welcome tonight's auctioneer, BD Wong.
Hey, Apex for youth and admirers. My name is BD Wong Ji-yoon. How the Asian American heck are ya? My name is BD Wong, and I am here because I am arguably Apex for Youth's biggest fan. I am sincerely here with a great deal of love for this organization and everyone that works for it and everyone who receives the benefits of it. And so I just love being here. I am here to basically seal the deal, ladies and gentlemen. The work, the foundation has been laid by the honorees, by the presenters, by the constituents, and by the staff. I have a little bit to say to nudge you along the way, but I'm going to start with the rules, which are the rules of the paddle raise. And that is, the first thing is that if you have your paddle, it should have your name on it. Don't raise your paddle with someone else's name on it unless you want to recreate a scene from an old episode of Golden Girls with a terrible mistaken high stakes paddle raise. No, raise the paddle with your name on it. And there are two ways to raise. One is to raise your paddle and to hold your paddle high until I read your number so that it can be recorded. Thank you very much. I hope you'll make that really hard for me because I want there to be a lot of numbers for me to be able to record. And you can also, if you're shy, if you're going to be all Asian American about it, there is a QR code on your paddle. You can slip it in. I encourage you to do so if you are shy because the totals will all come up and we really want to see the totals. And we're here to make a shitload of money tonight. So I'm just going to hope that we all, pay attention to that. Okay, so I encourage you to raise multiple times. I encourage you to do the math when you see what the levels are and figure out what works for you. Asian American people, math, I don't know. Is it possible? Some of you will be good at this, some of you will not. So here are the tiers, okay? I'm not going to apologize about these tiers. I am thrilled about them and terrified at the same time. $100,000, $50,000, $25,000, $10,000, $5,000, $2,500, and $1,000. And if you let me tease out a little bit of a photo op that I'd like to do at the $1,000 level. I want as many people at the $1,000 level, including maybe some people who have already pledged, to raise their hands in a big group effort and a photo opportunity for social media. Yes, thank you. And so we're about to start. Are we about to start? Is that right, Kim? Can I go on to my inspirational words? I want to say that we are here. And what's so great about Apex for Youth and this organization and this event is that it is a party. It is a party that celebrates the organization and all of its good work, and it is a party that seeks to raise money together. So these two things come crashing together in a very elegant package. And the one thing that I have to say about it that thrills me really greatly is that it's all good. You're kind of a butthead if you have anything to complain about here. I mean, it's such a wonderful organization. And I want to give a shout out also to the honorees and their presenters. It is very rare for honorees. I've been to a lot of galas, folks. It is very rare for honorees to speak with a great depth of understanding about what the organization does. And for these wonderful intergenerational pair to speak so eloquently about Apex for Youth speaks volumes about the organization and what has brought them here together. In addition to that, Mariko Silver and Chloe Kim. Yes, okay, really, okay, donations are already starting to come in. You mean, okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna start I guess I'm gonna start the bidding. I've been interrupted. Okay, here we go. It is a big ask, $100,000. I'd like to have a few people here at $100,000. Is there anyone who has $100,000 for Apex for Youth? Raise your paddle, please, and I will wait. Right down here, table 16, sir, number. Can I see the number? 260. Anybody else? 254. Thank you very much. At SUNY's table 659. That is excellent. That is so excellent. Is there anybody else for $100,000? $100,000, people. 286. $100,000. That is $400,000. We are talking about looking for the expansion, not just the sustenance of this organization. And so I'm going to be pushing way past $1 million if I'm even able to. Is there anyone else at $100,000? Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Sold at $100,000. We're at $400,000. We are going to $50,000. $50,000. Let's, we'll give each tier a basic theme, and the theme, a big theme of this is college and career path, and the way we guide these students. And this $50,000 can go a long way. We do need more people at each tier to give up the cash for these tiers. I mean, that's just the way it works. I'm talking math-wise in order to make our goal. So, I'm raising the question. At $50,000, who has $50,000 to guide these kids through college? 268, 381. Anybody else? 433, 374. More, $50,000, only $50,000, 473. Thank you so much, 204. Anybody else? $50,000, 285. Oh, this is awesome. This is great. Anybody else? $50,000 for Apex for Youth. Going once, going twice. Sold at $50,000. We are going down to, okay, now, you see the apple? We are at our halfway point. Ladies and gentlemen, $500,000. We're going to $25,000. $25,000 is a very meaningful theme to me. It's the theme of family night. We have heard so many wonderful stories. It's a great mother-daughter night, isn't it? Mother-daughter action. It's so not Joy Luck Club. It's like so healthy, wonderful, nurturing mother-daughter relationships, many fostered by the programs of Apex for Youth. Family night is very important. You heard Ashley Yee and Bingji talk about their relationships to their siblings, Ashley's sibling Wesley and Bingji's brother being brought into the program. These family relationships are absolutely important. At $25,000, what say you? 111, 359. Who else? $25,000, 359, 366. There's got to be more at $25,000. I need a lot more at $25,000. Who's got $25,000? 111? Did I not say that? 111. Thank you very much, 111. $25,000. 413, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. $25,000. Preeti Sriratana 391. Preeti, who I consider the grand forefather of Apex for Youth. He is my entry point to the magic of this organization. He is tireless, so visionary, so incredible. In his name, is there anyone else at $25,000? We are almost at $900,000, which is really great. $25,000. Anyone else at $25,000? Going once. 286. Thank you. Yeah, I know. You guys are so great. I love these guys. Okay. $25,000. Anybody else at $25,000? Ladies and gentlemen, $25,000 going once, $25,000 going twice. 285 from the happy couple. That is awesome. $25,000, again going once, again going twice. That is sold on $25,000. Okay, my cards are everywhere. We are now at, I think 10, right? 10. And it's called Apex Journey. And you know why it's called Apex Journey, right? Because Ashley Yee says she is the Apex Journey. And so, in the name of the wonderful Ashley Yee, who spoke so beautifully, bared her soul, reached out to her parents, and it exemplifies the spirit of Apex for Youth, who will give, and I need a lot of people, $10,000. Show me the money. $461, $462, $424, $297, $362, $329. I'm very confident. I'm waiting. This is why I'm pacing. I'm stalking. $180, $393. Thank you very much. At $10,000. Who else at $10,000? Anybody else at $10,000? You know, I mean, it is. There's just so much to say about this. Apex Journey. You know, this is the thing. One of the things that I've learned about is the emerging and kind of new energy, which is middle school energy, mentorship for middle school kids, and how middle school kids are kind of finding their identity at that age. They're figuring out how they can be a part of a community. And so if they get singled out and they get shown how they are a part of a community, they will participate in that community. That is the community we need them to participate in. We need them to learn how to be loving themselves so that when they go to high school, they can choose a college career that is about who they are, what makes them tick, what they want with their life, and how they can be successful. This is a decision that gets made largely in part by the energy of the mentorship and the programs of Apex for Youth. And so, is there anybody? I'm waiting for the graphic that says we hit $1 million! And you must know that I do not think that that is enough. You must know that when I say we are talking about expansion, we really mean it. We understand now, with the great success of this organization, what is at stake. We understand now, in a climate where attention to diverse cultures is been threatened, we know that we must take things into our own hands, no matter what our political affiliation, and support our own community. I think we want to break $1.3 million. And that was, and let me just tell you, that was last year's goal, so that's definitely not good enough for me, because I am a big fan of young Mr. Bing Chen, who did last year's paddle raise, and I am, like Suni Lee, super competitive, and I want to text him when this is over. So I need your help to do so. Are we still at $10,000, Kim? We are at $10,000 for the expansion. I was saying that the kids go to high school. The high school effort is really important. We are all about that. And we're talking about moving into all of the boroughs. I'm personally talking in my conversations with Preeti about an Apex for Youth in every major American city. I'm gonna go down? Okay. Are you sure? No, I'm gonna, no. I'm gonna get 10,000 one more time just to make sure, because I didn't say going once, going twice. One last stab at $10,000, ladies and gentlemen. $10,000 for Apex for Youth. Does anybody else have $10,000 for Apex for Youth? Going once. Going twice. Anybody? Sold at $10,000, moving to $5,000. And $5,000, the theme, is a very important theme. We've heard about this tonight, and it really rings a bell with me, and that is mental health, man. Mental health for Asian American kids, mental health for the unique needs of Asian American kids. All kids need mental health services. That's definitely true. We need to be giving our young kids mental health no matter what community they are from. What we are saying in this room tonight is that our Asian American kids have very specific cultural, familial, career-related, academic, financial challenge needs that we need to address. 1 in 2 Asian American kids live at or below the poverty line. 3 out of 4 Asian American kids in the Apex for Youth program live at or below the poverty line. We are way past the mild minority myth of that we're all perfect and that life is easy for us. We are serving a constituency that needs us desperately. For mental health at $5,000, and I need a lot of people to get to 1.3. Who do we have? $5,000, please. 527. 212-165-222-223-221-435-446-443-455. On this side, 580-141. Who is that? Yes, 584. Turn it to me, 550. Thank you so much. Who else? 262. Thank you so much. 678. 678, add $5,000. We need that $5,000. Mental health, man. Can you just imagine the moment in time when you were in middle school and what you would have done with mental health services? Ladies and gentlemen, who are we got? Is that up or down? That's up, 281. Is that, yes? At 279. Yes, 753, $5,000. Thank you very much. Who else at $5,000? 500, 500, that is. 501, like 501 jeans. What else have we got? 133. You guys are doing great. This is unbelievable. This is wonderful. What have we got here? $5,000. Is the well getting dry? We are celebrating at this point $1.1 million. For the Bing text, for the Bing Chen text that I get to send, we are going down to, what are we at? 2,500, and this is a very, what is it? This is who? 282 at $5,000, thank you. Is that Mr. Chung? That's Ji-Yoon Chung's dad, everybody. 513 at $5,000. 514 at $5,000. 206 at $5,000. 102 at $5,000. 303 at $5,000. Maybe I'll stop screaming now. Maybe I've gotten to the point where I don't have to scream anymore. 402, that's very nice. Thank you very much. 402 at $5,000. Children, you've done great. You're doing great. You're doing great. Anybody else at $5,000, think about it. You can do it. Oh, wow. Okay. You know, it's really, well, how can I say this right? I like to bring up these things that are not well known to everybody. And I like to bring up this stuff about the poverty line and Asian American kids because we have stereotypes that we fight against every day, which are that we don't have problems like that. Thanks to a generous match from Tom Chin and the Dalios, Maxine Dalio, we have a match up to $40,000 from this point on. So we can really get to that $1.3 million, ladies and gentlemen. Brothers and sisters, we are going to celebrate. Aya Kanai did a wonderful job opening this festivity. Aya Kanai and Ray Chan and Melody Lee have worked as the what are they called? The gala chairs? The gala co-chairs to make this event such a success. I'm very proud to have worked with them. Everybody in this room, it's all goodness to me. And I'm very grateful to you. And it's a long night, so I really appreciate you sticking it all out. I am like to introduce the remaining co-chairs of the Apex for Youth 2025 Gala, Ray Chan and Melody Lee. Good night, everybody.
Okay, let's
right.
go.
Wow.
Woo.
I'm just floored. I forgot what I was supposed to say. But good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Apex Board and the Gala Host Committee, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for showing up for Generation Fearless. We're so grateful for your generosity and for your commitment to uplifting our youth. A huge thank you to BD for leading us through such an inspiring paddle race. BD, your heart, your energy, your presence made that an unforgettable moment. Thank you very much. You killed it. And now, I'm thrilled to share with you that we just raised $1.4 million. And combined with $1.7 million through donations and sponsorships, we raised over $3.1 million tonight for our youth. That's more transformative relationships, that's more academic and career opportunities, and that's more fearless futures for the youth we serve.
To our honorees, speakers, donors, volunteers, board, and incredible staff, and the entire Apex community that's here tonight, thank you. You made tonight possible, and you helped drive our mission forward. Let's carry this momentum with us. Let's keep showing up. Let's keep investing. Let's build a next generation and a world without limits. Please join us for the after party at Crown Shy. And if I could call up the board and all program attendees to come take up a picture. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you again for coming to Apex for Youth's 33rd Inspiration Awards Gala. Please join us for our dessert reception. Have a wonderful night.